and welcome back to the Real Sisters Real Estate Podcast. This is Christy Curtis, and I'm with the Berkshire Hathaway Bob and Rana Group. And as always, I'm here with Jules. Jules, how's it going?
Things are going really good, and I am with Jackson Hole International. I screwed that up. Jackson Hole Sotheby's International Realty. I'm still getting used to that.
Off to a good start this time.
I was practicing it yesterday, driving down the road. I was like, I'm really going to nail this, and I didn't.
Nailed it. No.
No, I did not.
That's all right.
Anyways, things are going good.
Good.
Ella got braces on, not yesterday, but the day before. So she is excited and in a little bit of pain.
Sure.
But yeah, she's feeling better this morning. She said it was less than it was yesterday. So good there. And she's very excited. She's been wanting them for quite some time.
Yes, I did know that about Ella. I mean, we've all been there. And what was I going to ask? How long does she need them on?
Well, they do like a baseline 2 years, and then they like determine. So that's like what the payments are for. And like Colton thought he was getting his off like last month, and they were like, "You still need like 6 more months." He was like, "Wait, what?"
Sorry, Colton.
Yeah,
I feel like the hard part for Colton's going to be wearing their retainer afterwards.
It's doing all the things. And I was like, Colton, if you wore your rubber bands, if you did what you were supposed to do, like you would have had him off. But he's just like, whatever. And the doctor is just like, well, at some point it's just going to plateau and there's not going to be anything more adjusting and we'll just take him off. I'm like, that's fine. Yes. He's not going to wear his retainer. I don't
I love
know.
16.
Right? I love investing almost, over $5,000 in your mouth just to have it go back.
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, I used to have nightmares about that because I had horrible teeth. Hayden was pretty good with his because he had horrible teeth too. But yeah, Hayden just texted us the other day, and he bikes to and from the campus now because he lives off campus for the first time, and he fell off his bike, so we laughed at him. Because when he was little, he was a terrible bike rider, and we used to just tease, not very good on the balance thing. And so I was like, "Are you sure you want to bike? Are you sure you're gonna be okay to bike?" And then he texted CJ and I the other day. Totally just ate it on my bike. We're like, "Oh no, are you okay?" Rip my favorite jeans, have road rash. I'm like, "Oh my god,
Oh God,
I know." Like,
poor Hayden.
What a nerd. So yeah. That's my 20-year-old. So
Well, yeah.
Yep. Gotta love kids. What else is new? Anything else?
No, not much is new.
You can tell by my snazzy outfit. I'm going golfing as soon as we're done here. So
I am as well. Our golf courses are closed, but if you have your own cart, they're just kind of like whatever. They left the pins in, and they'll leave the pins in until it snows and whatever. So it's closed to the public, but if you have your own cart and clubs and all of that, they don't care. They'll just let you go out. So
that's cool.
Yeah, we'll do that for a little bit longer, and then it's supposed to dip down. And I'm not a big fan of golfing while it's cold and in the snow.
No, and I'm really, really bad at it too. As soon as I get cold, I'm not great at it anyway. In fact, I'm pretty shitty at all times, but when I get cold, it's even worse. So
yeah,
doesn't make for a very fun day. All right. Well, you want to go ahead and get into it?
Sure. Let's get into it. So our Tibor market update, we have a residential days on market of 139. Days on market for our building sites is 205. Another day from last week on each side. We have 1,547 active listings, 47 new, 28 went pending, and 48 sold. I was just looking over at our overall trends this time last week from this time last month, and our inventory is continuing to stay up. Our sold volume is down 10%, and our average sale sales price is down 18%. So continuing signs that we are definitely in an even and maybe even sliding into a buyer's market here, which is great news for our buyers, especially since interest rates are so hard. It's good to know that we can negotiate off that list price.
Yeah, absolutely. And just as long as the sellers know. I was going to say, I mean, if same time, last month, but your inventory is still up, but your sales are down, that's, indicating that the buyers might be able to get a deal, or maybe not a deal, necessarily a deal, but, get fair market value and not have to, get crazy with it. Ours is kind of the same as last week, 23 days on the market. So it's actually one less day than last week. So that's nice. And then active units is down, but it's only down 26 units. So not anything too crazy there. Our new pending is also down 194 units. So that's not great. So that means things aren't going under contract as much. And then closed last week, year over year, we're actually up 8%, which is pretty good. And then as far as national numbers, the interest rate is just being really stubborn, and it's at 6.57. And then, of course, we're not seeing any predictions for the 3 drops in the rates that we had thought we were going to see. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in these next 2 months if we just hold tight. I assume nothing's going to happen until the election. Obviously, we're there. It's election time. People are already voting. So we'll probably just hold tight until then, and then we'll have a better idea of what is going to happen. Then for news from the big dogs, I got just a couple different fun things if you want me to jump into it.
Yeah, sure. Let's jump into it because I don't have anything.
I wasn't going to call you out. Okay, the first thing is I have 2 different things, just kind of fun things. Okay, so all the big paint companies put out their colors of the year for 2025. Kind of fun. So Sherman-Williams is naming theirs Upward. It's a breezy, blissful blue, the color found when we slow down, take a breath, and allow the mind to clear. It's just like a light, um, a very washed out light blue. The description is pretty accurate. It's like, okay, just like a nice day. All the rest of them are completely different. I shouldn't say all the rest, the other 2. Rumors by Bear is a luxurious ruby red, adding warmth and rich allure. So they went pretty deep in their
Wow.
color. I mean, in their examples, they had it on kitchen cabinets, they had it everywhere.
No.
So
Sorry. No.
I know.
No.
I will say that the way that they had designed it, it looked pretty.
Oh,
I don't
well,
think that's
yeah.
anything that most people want to see on their kitchen cabinets, but it is a pretty color if you're into it. And then cinnamon slate is Benjamin Moore's color of the year for 2025 again. A rich, creamy hue that works as both an accent color and a neutral. And they're describing it as a spicy mix of purple and brown. And that
Hmm.
was closer to the rumors by Bear. And then I saw another thing that gray is out and beige is the new gray. What?
I mean, we saw that coming.
Yeah,
Gray
well,
has
yeah.
been on its way out for the last couple years. I've been walking into houses going, "Oh God, more gray."
I
Come
know,
on.
but it's like beige. We couldn't come up with anything more exciting.
No, people are basic.
Okay, agreed. um, I just can't imagine telling someone, okay, paint this beige, but maybe we'll see it. Who knows? The next story that I have is from CBS News, but I actually heard from it from I cannot remember what buyer told me, but a buyer told me just recently that Walmart is selling a tiny house for less than $16,000.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
very interesting. There's obviously catches. It says these days you can have almost anything shipped to your door from websites like Amazon and Walmart, including a house. Walmart is now selling a tiny house online for $15,900. The 19 by 20 feet expandable prefab house is delivered by flatbed, I must be ready for lunch, truck and requires a forklift for uploading, according to the online listing. So it's a New York-based storage company that is actually doing these, and it comes. The tiny home has a space for a bedroom, living room, bathroom, dining room, and kitchen. It comes unfurnished, duh, and without appliances. So you'll have to obviously have all the land, your infrastructure, all that ready to go, and then you also have you have to have a forklift lined up. So there are a lot of other different costs that are going to vary into it. And then it says the description also recommends pouring concrete on its legs to increase the stability. So, yeah, but I thought that that was a pretty funny thing. And then in April, Amazon started listing the same tiny home, which is currently unavailable on the site. Cheryl Industrial, that's the name of the people that are making the tiny houses, also makes what it calls an Apple cabin, which is currently available for sale on eBay for $20,000 and whose exterior resembles an Apple electronic device like an iPhone. I don't know about
Okay.
that one, but
Not sure
um,
about that one. Interesting. I wonder if it's like considered a modular or a manufactured.
yeah, I mean, it's a prefab. So, I mean, you can prefab homes these days, you can get really, really nice ones. I mean, Dad has his over on the water. But it's a beautiful home. But it's like a manufactured home, type of thing. Because around here we have manufactured homes that are on pieces of land and it's a
Mhm.
home,
Sure.
but you have to buy the land, you have to get the permits for plumbing, septic, all that stuff. So
Hmm.
it's not as easy as it sounds, but to buy a house for 20,000, if you can buy a piece of land for 100,000, might be an option for people.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good option. I wonder, we'd have to dig in more. I mean, are snow loads and things like that. And also, I wonder if it comes pre-wired. Are you going to have an electrician run everything? Shoot, yeah, it does sound like you could be in a house for, under 300,000,
Yeah, I
maybe?
was going to say maybe under 200,000, maybe just depending on where you are. We already
Right.
know Ohio, you're good.
Ohio, you are set. Around here, land where you could put something like that would probably run you about 200,000
Yeah.
just for the land because you need no restrictions and things like that. So, the land is going to be your big chunk of money.
Yeah, yeah. I think the land here is going to be the biggest chunk of money as well, and also the biggest obstacle because just red tape. Red tape is just red tape. It's just going to slow everything up, and it is what it is.
That is true, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Good find.
Thanks.
Also, wonder when we start seeing those.
We'll see. Like I said, I first heard from it from one of my clients, and I. To be honest, I kind of laughed at him, like, "What are you talking about?" And then he told me about it, and I was like, "Oh, like you're for real." So then when I came across this today, I was like, okay, so if I'm just hearing about it, maybe other people are just starting to hear about it. So, yeah, not for everyone, but
What?
some people are really into those tiny houses.
Yes, a lot of people are into the tiny houses. I hear it a lot, but unfortunately, we just most places have restrictions against tiny houses and with a minimum square footage that is usually over what those are.
Mm. I didn't know
So,
that tiny houses could be discriminated against. They should sue.
well, they're not a protected class.
I
So,
think we're onto something here. Good point. Good point. All right. So I have a story for us today, too. You want me to
let's
jump
sure
into it? Oh, actually,
jump in.
that's kind of funny. Okay. This story is called The View from the Balcony. Some lessons are locked in your memory. Brad Pauley, broker owner of Pauley Presley Realty in Austin, Texas, has such unforgettable experience. Once while showing a home, luckily on a particularly mild Austin day, I locked my client and myself out on a second story balcony. This is like one of my biggest fears.
No.
After a few minutes of panic, a cold sweat started and I knew it. I knew I had to do something. My only option seemed to be jumping from the balcony to the ground. It was really more of a dangle and a fall of about 5 feet. So the only injury I sustained was a sprained ego. After hitting the ground, I let myself back in through the front door, then ran upstairs and let my clients back into the house. I think the client was impressed with my skills, so luckily we continued to work together.
Oh no.
I
That's
will say
horrible.
it's one of my worst fears, when we go out on those verandas and things like that. Like, oh, I got to make sure that but we're not going to get lock ourselves out. I actually think about it pretty often. I used to always keep the key in the front door,
Mhm.
just so I knew it was there for when I would close the door, I would lock it. Now for safety reasons and other reasons, I always bring it and just loop it on my hand. But yeah, yeah, I can see myself doing that too. It's like a backwards dress and locking myself out.
Mhm. Oh god. That poor lady. Well, at least she was able to shimmy down to the next place.
Well, it was a dude, so that makes it a little bit easier. Yeah.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah, makes it a little bit easier because I know like I don't
In
always wear a
heels and
dress when yeah,
dresses.
exactly. I
Yeah.
don't always wear a dress, but I'm normally a little bit more dressed up than jumping over a balcony. So I'd have to kick my heels off and jump. I can see myself actually jumping off because what else are you going to do? But
Yeah.
that would be
Oh boy.
unfortunate.
It'd be
Ah, I guess you guys
well,
don't have to worry about that too much out there. Second story verandas,
not really.
balconies. Yeah.
Most stuff is ranch style out here. There's definitely some second floors. I would probably just keep the door open behind me.
Yeah. 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 That would be the smart thing. Obviously, it wasn't a slider. It had to have been something else.
Right, yeah, something with a like a automatic shutting.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's bad.
That's
Poor
bad.
poor dude. Well, glad he made it out safely.
Yeah. He shimmied his way to safety.
All right. Well, should we jump into our $1,000,000 listing?
Sure.
All right. We watched $1,000,000 Listing LA season 15, episode 8. Mo mansions, mo problems. um I don't know. A lot of fluff going on in here again.
Hmm.
Obviously, the market is slow. Altman continuing to crush his he's just wow. He's a beast.
Yeah.
Um
I mean, he mentions all the time, people call me a workaholic. I'm like, yep, I can see it. And Heather's starting to crack a
she's
little under
not
it.
she's not she doesn't seem to be too happy, and he seems to be quite oblivious to her saying it. She's being pretty loud and clear, and he's just kind of like, I got an appointment.
Yeah, he's in work mode and he's going. But it's funny because CJ was actually watching this episode with me and he said something like, "Oh my gosh, like how dramatic." And I said, "No." I immediately jumped in and defended her. I'm like, she's running the brokerages. She's designing the new brokerage. She's trying to look at her own listings, raise two children, like she's doing all the things. Like I can totally understand why she is feeling stretched beyond her limit. So,
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
it's just we've all been there at some point in our careers and just life in general. So it's like you gotta breathe and get through that time in our time period or whatever. But doesn't make it easy when you're in it.
No, it doesn't. She's been getting some advice first from Tracy last week, and then the lady, um,
Heather
kind of.
Dubrow, she's a real housewife.
Oh, is she? I didn't know who they were.
Oh,
Um,
because then Terry, her husband, I only know this because of Ginger. He's on Botched. So he's a
he is. He's the surgeon, isn't
mhm,
he?
yeah, mhm.
Okay, okay. I did not know that, but when you mentioned the show, I've watched it at mom's house. So,
Right.
yes.
Yes. Mhm. Yeah. So buku bucks there.
Well, they're heavy hitters. They were just like, "Yeah, we'll take it." I was
Yeah.
like, "Damn."
I know.
Again, I write down notes. How do I get these clients?
Right. maybe we shouldn't be golfing in the afternoon. We should be working harder.
No.
No, I'm good where I'm at. I'd
No.
rather golf in the afternoon.
Me too. I like my work play balance. I think I like it a lot.
Me too.
Let's jump into Tracy and Flagg again. They are Flagg is living his best life in Paris. Tracy's doing all the work.
Yes. I will say with the commission split, I had to rewind it and think about it again and then figure out the math. And I was like, oh, okay, got it. Because he brought the buyer, but he's also the co-listing agent. He's obviously going to make more. So,
right. I think
okay.
she ended up just taking more on the seller side. Is that what it was? Instead of taking some of the buyer side?
Correct. Yeah. She took 60% of the listing commission and then he got 40% of the listing commission and the full buyer. So, I mean, he definitely made out in the deal. And I was hoping that he gave her that Birkin bag from Fashion Week, but it didn't look like he did.
No, I know. It was a cute bag though.
It was. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but not a whole lot from there.
That ends the notes that I have.
Yeah. I was going to say really not. Oh, the only thing I did want to mention is, a couple different things with Tracy. I mean, she's just so good. One is encouraging the people for the pen to paper. She's like, doing during her showing, she's like, if you like it, I encourage pen to paper. One just spouting off all her facts right there, on the spot, which is amazing, which we should all be able to do. And I think most listing agents can do that if they're standing there with them. Second thing is I had to look up when she said this covered. Oh, now I'm going to butcher it. It's an Italian word. Logia? Logia? When she was walking out back to show them the pool, they had a covered area. There was a deck above them. And then they walked out and it was like a patio underneath the deck. And they had furniture and stuff and it was in the shade. And she called it a certain name. And I actually had to look it up. It's an Italian word. But I was like, I'm going to try to use that word instead of just like, this is a covered patio.
Why? It sounds so good when you say it like that.
I know. But I have to figure out how to actually pronounce it. But it's Loggia. And again, it's an Italian word. So I have to figure out how to actually pronounce it. But I was like, hold on, what is that? And I rewound it and I was like, okay. And then I put it into Google, spelled it incorrectly. And then luckily they were able to help me. One other thing I did want to bring up was the wildlife preservation law that goes into effect 2025, I guess, in LA. Man, big government. Cali with their big government, they just are all over stuff. So that's going to limit to a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of my notes as well. A lot of fluff, not a whole lot of houses. I was happy for Heather to finally get hers under contract, but yeah.
Well, that was it. That's the wildlife thing. Like that's some dumb shit Jackson would do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we have preservation areas around the bay here, but nothing too crazy. So
we're pretty much the wild west here.
Yeah, I was saying that the
down
other day.
In Lincoln County. Do what you want.
You want a tiny house? Put it on.
You just gotta find a place to do it.
That's right. Up our creek. I'm just kidding. I don't know anyone in Lincoln County, so I don't even know where that is.
That's where I live.
Oh. Well, I grew up in Anne Arundel County because you grew up here too, so that's different. I don't know the name of your county that you live in now. I know it's Thane. What else do you want from me?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. You want to get into the listing of the week?
Let's do it. So for our listing of the week, we have Charlie Puth, singer-songwriter, has recently sold his Beverly Hills mansion for $17 million to none other than Mr. Joshua Flagg.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah. It is 4,800 square feet. It has been recently renovated by architect Rex Lottery. I knew I was gonna screw that up.
Nailed it.
Anyways, yeah, some famous guy that we don't
Yeah,
know.
we don't know.
Mhm. The house is described as vintage vibes, which makes a lot of sense for Josh Flagg.
Mhm.
Has 4 bedrooms, 5 baths, a sauna room, and a gym.
I'm gonna
But this
say
house
something really, really ignorant right now, and I don't mean it
okay.
in any dig, but I didn't know Charlie Puth, like, could afford yeah, like, I didn't think he was that big where he was $17 million home worth, but who am I? I don't know. I'm not a teeny bopper, so I don't know.
He bought the house, I think it said for 8 or 9 million,
Oh,
and
okay.
then renovated it. So he got a big paycheck on this.
Good for him. Good for him. Good
Yeah.
investment for a young man. Ooh, it's so pretty.
It's very, very pretty and very you can see the vintage vibes, but it
Mhm.
is still like very up to date, which is really cool.
Sure. Okay, so green couch, but the still modern features within the actual room itself, so
Exactly,
I love it.
exactly.
I really love it.
It's really pretty house. Obviously, his piano there.
Mhm. With all that glass behind him with the view is probably spectacular. Is that couch like a animal print of some sort? I can't tell, or is it just like patchwork?
Yeah,
Leather patchwork.
I think it's just like a patchwork leather, but like the carpeting looks very vintage.
It does, it's
You
almost
know,
shag.
it almost looks like a
Yeah,
shag.
yeah.
Yeah. But I love all the greenery in here
Mhm.
that's built into it. It's not just houseplants. Like this is actual features built into the architecture, which
It's
is just
amazing.
so cool.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. The palm tree inside,
Yeah.
like an indoor garden. That's amazing.
I'd kill that shit so fast.
Oh, you don't have a green thumb? You have a green thumb.
I have cactus behind me, but that's about it. This is about
Yeah,
the only thing I can keep alive.
inside, you're good. Outside, though, you do all kinds of stuff outside.
Yeah, outside it's fine. That's what timers are for. But yes. So this kitchen I absolutely love. It really has like the wood panels with the gold is
Mhm.
really is that vintage vibe that it's how like it talks about, and then that beautiful waterfall island
Countertop.
there
Oh,
is
it's
so
beautiful, and
pretty.
it pulls the gold hood in with the veining of the marble. It's
Mhm.
beautiful. Mhm. It is
And I
it
like
is beautiful, and it's still you're right, it's still vintage, but completely modern and up to date and, honestly pretty timeless?
yes.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then that's the from we're standing in the kitchen now looking out
Okay.
and spectacular view.
Amazing.
Um
Nice
I
big dining room. Mhm.
Yes, and that light fixture, I'll have to give a shout out to the gal who decorated our office, Sam, because we have the same light fixture in our office.
What? Look at you guys.
Good taste,
Sam's on
girl.
it.
Yeah. So again, vintage, like that, the kind of green carpeting.
Yeah, this
I
is the
don't love
first
it.
room I was gonna say, this is the first room I'm really not digging. And it's only because of the carpet. Everything else I would love. If it was hardwoods or something different,
Mhm.
then I'd be like, "Oh, it's gorgeous," because you still have all the windows and the view, and it's like a half window, so you know, a little bit more privacy. But that I'm not liking that carpet at all.
I think it's
And the
impressive.
bed doesn't look good.
They need to fix the bed. The vacuum lines on the carpet are very
Yeah.
impressive.
Well, that is yeah, no, I wish I could have that, because I do have carpet upstairs, but, yeah, no, I have animals, so that just doesn't exist anymore.
No. My dumbass would walk over top of it and leave footprints on
Oh,
it.
100%. Yeah. Right before we shoot the house. Oh,
Yes.
good. Good job, Chrissy. Good job.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just trying to open
Um,
these blinds. That's beautiful.
I'm yes, it is. I'm guessing this was the only picture of a bathroom. I'm guessing this is probably the ensuite bathroom.
Makes sense.
Um, really pretty.
So, it's hard for me to tell in the picture from on my side. Are those windows next to the mirror, or are those mirrors that are reflecting a window across the other side of the bathroom? Can you tell?
I'm not sure.
Mm.
No, I bet them. I don't know. I don't know. I
Whatever
wanna
it
say
is.
they're mirrors, but then, like, the one mirror in the center has, like, a frame around it, and
Right,
that's
that's what I was asking.
and that's
I can't tell.
reflecting it almost looks like a closet behind it, so those have got to be windows?
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
That's
cool.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, really pretty.
Lots of natural light for makeup.
Yeah. Sauna room?
Love.
Gym?
Okay.
Sorry, my picture shrinks. I don't know why it does that.
It's just the format sometimes. Mine do it all the time.
No one ever
That's why I
said I
like
was a
uh,
computer guru.
well,
I'm
that's why
not.
I like to let you do the listing of the week 'cause, it's annoying. We both have our specialties, and I've decided yours is listing of the week.
Right? And I can't read a story right to save my life.
The yin and the yang.
Oh, outside view here. I mean, it's just
Beautiful.
so pretty. The views are spectacular.
Oh,
Full outdoor kitchen here.
amazing,
I wish the pictures
amazing.
were a little bigger, sorry.
That's
And
okay.
then obviously at night with the pool lit
Yeah.
up is just stunning.
Gosh, good for Flag. I wonder if Tracy helped him with that.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's gorgeous.
It really is really pretty. I loved the house and I just liked that Josh Flagg ended up buying it too. So I
Yeah,
thought, "Oh, well, that's so fitting for our show this week."
it really is. Yes. Look at Josh Flagg going to Paris Fashion Week, snagging up, $17 million mansions. I wonder what it was originally on the market for, if it was like 20 million and he was able to talk them down a little.
I don't know. I didn't notice. It didn't say. Yeah, so that's all I've got for the listing. Should we
Great job.
get into our tip of the week?
Sure.
Mine is stay aggressive. I know it's a very hard market right now. I have invested more money back into my business this year than I think I ever have. Um, and I am doing this to set myself up for when the market does come back, I can come back with it and be very, very strong. So it's it's really hard though, because
Mhm.
I'm spending a lot of money that I
Mhm.
don't really want to spend. I would love to just like hoard it all.
Right?
Um, but I've been working really hard on my marketing strategies and things like that. And I'm doing it to set myself up. So stay aggressive. Um, I'll keep this strategy all the way through winter and I'm hoping it pays off in spring.
Well, it should, you have to invest in yourself. That's the only person that's gonna do it for you. I mean, I've said that all the time, you have to the only person that's gonna look out for you is you. So you have to invest in yourself, and when you invest in yourself, it's, almost like motivation to make sure that things to come to fruition, and it will, you
Mhm.
know. The longer you're in this business, I was talking to one of my old team leaders the other day. Johnny called me just out of the blue, and we were chatting, and we were talking. He's been in it for 20 years. I've been in it for 10 years, and like just the when you've been in it for the longer you've been in it, your repeat clients come back to you and you don't have to like I don't want to say scrounge because that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. You don't have to like
Grind.
yeah,
You don't have
well,
to
you still have to
grind so
grind, but you don't have
hard.
to like claw to get,
Right.
clients. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of time as you are in the business longer, your business should grow as long as you're doing a good job. And yours will. It'll come back to you, and that's good. But I've been doing the same thing. My team offers all kinds of different things where you can, sink a little bit more money right out of our commission checks, and then basically put it right back into the business, and from postcards to all these different things. So I've been trying to take advantage of that as well, and you know, I'll be honest, I haven't seen anything yet, but that's okay. Hopefully, someone has
Right.
their a postcard or something of mine on their fridge and ready to call when the time is right. So,
Yeah. Hopefully. That's the goal.
yep. I don't really have a tip today. I mean, I would say the only thing is, with all the new rules and laws and all the things, like don't go rogue. Just like if you're not sure, just check with your broker. Like
Oh, yeah.
I have something that I want to do, but I don't know if I'm able to do it yet because the house isn't officially on the market. So I'm like, let me just check before I start, this and then get in trouble and fines and all these things. So, um, I don't have an answer yet, so I'm just on hold, but, I was actually expecting someone to say, "Yeah, you're good, golden, go," because I think I know all the rules and regulations, but I don't. So I'm glad I double
Yeah.
checked. So I would say that just CYA and don't go rogue. Just ask someone if you're not sure, because the last thing you need is to try to further your business and then get fined 1,000 or $5,000 from the boards, because
Right.
that's what they're trying to do. So,
Yeah. I mean, they're cracking down. So
mhm.
it's a good idea. That's what your responsible brokers are there for. They're there to help guide you. So lean on them. I know my responsible broker is amazing, super responsive, and she is a great resource. So um, definitely use them.
Yeah, mine as well, and we have a big team, so I can ask, other people as well, and if they're not sure, then it just
Hmm.
goes up
Hmm.
to where it needs to go, so it's also beneficial. But
Oh,
yeah, that's all I got.
well, speaking of going up to where it's supposed to go, I forgot to mention that we are not endorsed,
I bet
which came from the very top of our
I
my brokerage.
I almost mentioned it, but then we started poking fun of you for forgetting where you work.
Yes,
In
so
your defense, it doesn't just roll off the tongue.
it really doesn't. I've been trying really hard to practice it, and it just doesn't.
Yeah, and I will say that I guess we should probably also mention that just the full disclosure is in the comment section. So, um,
Yes, the big long one from Legal Town.
right, yeah, yeah, but we don't want to say all that. So if you feel the need to read it, go for it. But I want to say that socials are up and running. We ran into a glitch, but we're back. And so if you have stories or anything that you want to share with us, we're actually going to start a new segment next month, the last Friday of the month, with, we haven't quite named it yet, but just to kind of to poke fun at other people just a little bit, all the crazy and questions that we get throughout the month. We're going to catalog them and try to pick maybe a couple of the best ones that we just find hilarious. So
Yeah.
I know every agent out there is like, did this person just ask me this? And I just think it's so hilarious when you get funny things like that. So I thought it might be fun to share them.
Oh, absolutely. Whether it's from other agents or clients, we get some crazy questions. So definitely send them our way if you have any to share that you think might be funny. You can catch us at realsistersrealestate@gmail.com. Email us some stories or questions there, or put a comment in our segments, and we'll catch them.
All right. All set.
Well, all set. That's all I got. We'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.